Are you ready?
Man, that is going to be a slobber knocker of a game right there.
In all my time, I don't remember somebody scoring 4.
Yeah, if I use the word jetapult, it's actually a word. People don't realize it.
Good try. No soup for you.
And Trey, go get you some wax beans and
soup to the deli, I know.
yeah, go get you some wax beans and have
Trey,
a good day, man.
thanks for
First downs for Central Clay for 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters. Roll call with a spidget.
Roll call. A spidget.
Spidget.
A spidget.
A spidget.
Welcome to Sports Chat with Neil and Wally. Wally, it's August the 26th, Sunday evening, and you know what this week is? Game week.
Game week. College game week, Neil.
And hey, we had a few college games yesterday, but it is officially game week. And I mean, I'm ready for some college football.
Me too, buddy.
Wally, we couldn't get the show started without letting everybody know who's paying the bills real quick. The show is primarily brought to you by the Old Barn Restaurant, Turner Mowing, and Alabama Real Estate Connection. Call Turner Mowing for all your mowing needs. The Alabama Real Estate Connection is behind the black helicopter across the street from Burger King. And also the Old Barn Restaurant in Goshen, Alabama. The best cheese biscuits. And hey, let me tell you what I'm hooked on now is the hamburger steak.
The hamburger steak.
Cheese, gravy, and mushrooms. Incredible.
Atkins diet dream.
Dream. Well, they bring you them cheese biscuits to go with it, and I have to give that to my daughters.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not eating the bread and sugars right now. I'm about to hallucinate.
Hey, day 3, no, week 3 for me for
Week 3?
keto diet.
You drinking them drinks?
Yes, and it's killing me. But, but I'm
How many of them drinks you drink?
2 a day.
One in the morning and when?
1 in the afternoon.
What flavor?
Right now I'm drinking some shark color, blue shark, Kiko shark or something like that.
Kiko shark?
Yeah, something like that.
They got a Baby Shark song out. You singing that when you drink it?
Is that where they
That's
walk
right.
out in the vehicle and start?
Yeah. That's the Kiko challenge.
Yeah, somebody
Kiki
asked us,
challenge,
should we
I'm
do
sorry.
the Kiki challenge?
I'm not doing the Kiki challenge. You can forget it. He might.
Somebody asked me about, could we do that for a commercial?
No. Oh, we might. You do it for a commercial. I'm not getting run over. I see all the crash statistics come across my desk. I know what's happening with these Kiko people. Anyway, also special mention, Jones Medical, Southern Animal Hospital Pet Resort, Deep South Apparel, Crow's Chicken of Brundage, the Crease Agency, the only insurance agent you'll ever need, Mike Crease, Severa Ralph, Baker and Reeves, attorneys, All-Star Collision with Derek Bell and Yanni at the Pig Cafe. Wally, the show could not roll every Sunday night without our gracious sponsors, and we thank them so much. Pay attention behind our head to these sponsors the whole show. And right out of the gate, Wally, last week we had Neil Brown on, Division I, one of the hottest, most wanted coaches
in America.
Well, how could we one-up that?
We get
Go ahead.
what? Talk about getting Coach Doug Branson to come in?
Coach Doug
Yes,
Branson,
sir.
the new head coach of the Charles Henderson Trojans men's varsity basketball team, is here with us tonight. We want to introduce him as the new head basketball coach. He was named Monday, August the 20th at the board meeting. I know he's happy for the job. We're happy to have him for the job, and he's here with us tonight. We'll take just a short 2 little commercial break, and we'll be right back with head coach Doug Branson. Good morning, everybody. This is Neil from Sports Chat with Neil.
Dadgummit. Man. What's going on, Wally? What's wrong with that thing? Oh, Neil, Dad, my gum, man. I can't cut grass. I can't have nothing anymore.
Is it broke? I mean,
I don't know.
What I
I
chopped it all up over there.
Yeah, pretty brutal. What I should have done was called Blake Turner with Turner Mowing at 334-465-0600, and I wouldn't be in this predicament
Look
right
at
here.
this. Best rates in town. Call Blake Turner. He'll give you a low quote. He'll give you the best job.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
Welcome back to Sports Chat with Neil and Wally here on Sunday evening at Troy Cable's beautiful studios. Wally, Coach Doug Branson, good to have you here tonight. The new head coach at Charles Henderson High School with the men's varsity. We want to give just a short bio on Coach Branson. We're not going to build you up too much.
Please.
But
after what I have to follow from last week now, I mean, that's nice.
This is his 6th year with the Charles Henderson Trojans school program. He's coached many things: track, softball, golf. You've helped out with just about everything. Going back to when he was younger, he even helped his dad coach as a volunteer at Zion Chapel for a year. Then you were a coach at Wallace and Dothan for a year. You were a graduate assistant at Columbus State for a year. You were the official assistant coach at Columbus State for 5 years. And then you were the head coach at Columbus State for 4 years. Yes. And then you moved over to Pearl River Community College assistant coach for a year. And then you were the Pike County Bulldogs head basketball coach for 2 years before coming to the Troy City School System for the last 6 years. And the City of Troy is just elated to have you on and hoping for big things for the program. Coach Branson, we're not going to ask you too many tough questions, but last year the boys actually made it to Dothan and had a really successful year. Can you kind of elaborate on who all's coming back and what you're looking forward to, and what do you see expectation-wise from what you got coming back from that team last year that made it to Dothan?
Sure, and what a wonderful season it was last year for the guys. To make it to Dothan. It really got hot in January, and it made followed over into the playoffs, and the guys really were playing well at the right time. And that's any coach's dream, is to be playing well at the right time. They get into Dothan and run into a buzzsaw of a Eufaula high school team. They end up making it to the finals.
Yep. That was a heck of a game, too.
It was a really good game, and so what we're looking at is we got some quality returning. We got guys that were on the floor during those playoff times, so we got experience returning, and that's exciting.
Yeah.
And as a coach stepping in, what I'm really wanting to do is to develop skill to go along with athleticism that we have in our program and in our school system, and hopefully move that forward in what's been built. The foundation's there. Now it's just our job to keep moving forward with that.
Many, many years, going back to the 70s and 80s, basketball has been a tradition at Charles Henderson. Every school system goes through their down years, and Charles Henderson has had their down years. But for the most part, if you look since the 70s, not too many bad years mixed in. I mean, they've had some good basketball teams.
Well, and we sure have, and it's a good tradition, and it's something that we, again, like you said, we want to expand upon that, keep building on it. And I'll tell you the most exciting part, Neil and Wally, was you come into that gym in January and February last year, and the student section was over there, and they were so loud and such an atmosphere,
supporting their fellow team,
their peers,
schoolmates,
their classmates, absolutely, and that was so exciting to see and be a part of at our school, and the school spirit that came from that. So we want to continue that. Speaking of that, we had a really awesome pep rally this past Friday for the first football game. Yep. Students were wild and crazy and exuberant, and the excitement is so catching, and it's going throughout the school system for all the sports. Yep. So, football's rolling now, and then we'll get into basketball season, and we'll continue that. Absolutely. October 15th, we start first practice.
I need to be here before
it's here. It's here.
Who's going to be in Charles Henderson's area this year? Has it changed since the football areas changed?
Realignment.
Yeah, and it's a 2-year rotation, the way I understand it now. And our area this year will consist of Rehoboth, Greenville, Carroll High School, and us. That'll be a 4-team area. Yes, so Carroll High School, Rehoboth, Greenville, and ourselves.
So no Tallahassee and no Beauregard like football.
No, those two they're in another area or closer together. Yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay, Coach. You don't have to get into any X's and O's, but looking back through the years, Coach Hollis ran a kind of a wide open, fun and gun type of deal there for several years, and pressed, big time pressed. Coach Hollis did when he had the athletes.
Sure.
He when he had some really, really athletic kids, he loved to press and be wide open. Can you speak on theology of what you might try to put into these kids as far as X's and O's? You don't have to tell it, but just your theory.
Is there a chalkboard right here? Let's get after it. Come on.
We're supposed to get us a chalkboard.
Come on.
Yeah, we are. We're going to put it right over there.
Let's go. Come on. If you want to talk hoops, we can go now. How long is this show? 2-3 hours? What you got?
Just an hour right
now. David, we're going to need about a 40-minute extension.
That's right. To put it simple, we're going to play as fast as we can.
I like it.
Under control. Okay? And here's the deal. All right?
Hey,
no matter how fast we're playing.
The old bar and restaurant in Goshen, they got a sign up that says, "We sell great food and prepare it as fast as we can.
That's right. But they got to prepare it properly, right?
It takes a little
sure,
longer. Yeah.
Sure. Are we going to be as fast as I want us to be at the beginning of the year? No, but by the end of the year, we're going to be faster. Mm-hmm. And the thing is we're going to guard you like you've never been guarded before. When you leave the gym, you're going to go, holy cow, those guys were up in me every step I took.
Right.
And we're going to do that. We're going to create turnovers. We're going to create opportunities. Offensively, we're going to run. And the thing that I found, guys, at all levels, high school, college, junior college, 4-year level, all the different levels that I've taught, everybody wants to play fast.
Yeah.
But nobody knows how to play fast. You know, the kids, they want to play fast, but yet you're going, go, 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 and they're like, well, I'm running. No, you're not. You're not running at my speed.
Yeah.
You know, just because you're running at Wally's speed don't mean you're running at
That's
my
pretty,
speed.
that's pretty fast.
Yeah, let me tell you what you need to do, though. You need to go talk to Coach McCoy and go to football practice and get you one of those cornerbacks or free safeties so that when you press them, they can take those angles and intercept those passes.
Yes, sir. They pass by me every day in the hallway, and I tug that shirt when he walks by. You got me, man? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
People don't realize how the intuition to cut off the angles of passes lead to interceptions and turnovers. And if you've got somebody that can do that, you're ahead.
And you know, you can put them in if you put them in a semi-close spot, then that intuition, that anticipation you're speaking of, takes over. Right. And that's our job, is just to put them in the right spot and then let them be who they are. They're athletic.
Right. Now, last week I asked Coach Brown, was he going to run the Statue of Liberty? So I got to ask you going to run the picket fence like on Hoosiers? Remember that? Y'all remember that? Was that called the picket? Are we going to shoot some threes?
Oh, we're going to shoot some threes.
All right.
As long as we make a few now. We're going to have to make a few. Absolutely.
Hey, I can shoot myself out of a slump.
I hear you. And also, hey, that's what my coach used to tell me. You know, he told me, you can't dribble, son. Just shoot it. That's the only thing you can do.
Never made a shot you didn't like.
That's right. Heck, I shoot ball fakes. You know, ball fakes.
Neil was the best 21 basketball player down by Glenwood and Sherwood Avenue. Couldn't
handle it.
I could win horse because I could do a reverse behind the back layup and nobody else could.
And that'll win it every time. And got it.
Yeah,
he was good.
Buckets. And Wally, we will put in a picket fence
just
for you.
All
right? When you're in the bleachers and I look over at you, if you stand up, that'll be the next play we got. That's going to be our signal now. You have to stand up.
I'll be the one yelling from the top bleacher, 4 corners, 4 corners. Coach Branson.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you coming by.
I heard we got a phone call. A phone.
Do we got a phone call?
Do we got a phone call?
We taking calls?
We got a call. Put it through. Coach Branson wants to know.
Well, we thought.
We thought we did. Okay, don't worry about it. Coach Branson, we're look at here. Listen, I got it, Wally. You're on Sports Chat with Neil and Wally. We're interviewing the head coach of the Charles Henderson Trojans varsity basketball team, Coach Doug Branson. You got a question for Coach Branson?
Well, not just a question. Hey, this is James.
Hey, James.
I just wanted to congratulate Doug on behalf of the Charles Henderson Breakfast Club. His bio is impressive as all get out, as y'all read. But
he is experienced.
There was one thing that was missing was his impressive upward basketball record that he has.
Hey, and James, I hear he won the Super Bowl in flag football last year. Wally said he cheated.
He cheated, but that's okay.
And he's also coaching the Recreation Flag Football Super Bowl champion.
And I told Wally we played flag football with girls on our team and won the championship.
In my book, winning is winning.
I was at that game. It was impressive. I didn't see it.
Yes, it was impressive, but we're gonna beat them this year. So
Wally's recruiting any coaches possible to try to beat everybody in flag football.
I got two good assistants.
Doug, congratulations, bud. We're going to be in the stands in all our Wally T-shirts cheering you on, buddy.
Well, I appreciate that, James. And anything that you guys can do to rub that in a little deeper, I appreciate that also.
I heard they let you in the gym free if you got on a Wally shirt.
Anybody wearing a Wally shirt gets in free every game.
You heard it
flat
here
out.
On Sports Chat with Neil and Wally. You wear.
I will have Coach Doug's shirt.
Thank you, James. Appreciate the call. We appreciate that. Our good buddy James Sparrow and neighbor and fellow friend calling in and congratulating Coach Branson. And we'll take a quick break, and we want to thank you for coming on, Coach
Branson.
Branson.
You having me.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
We'll be back in just a second.
I can't get this thing, man. Hang on, Wally. You done figured that thing out, man. You were in the tree every day. Man, can you believe he ain't got it in the tree this time? Look at that. Whoa. What's going on here? Man. What's going on? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Man, look how scratched up that thing is.
God almighty, who can you call to get this
Call
fixed?
Derek Bell at All-Star Collision, 808-8822. Any type of crap like this, or when Wally wrecks his drone, call All-Star Collision, Derek Bell, 808-8822 on 231.
Our patients trust us, and you can trust us too. At Southern Animal Hospital and Pet Resort, we're a full-service animal hospital offering preventative care and hospital care with complete in-house laboratory testing. You'll also love our on-site pet resort, featuring individualized care for your pet during their vacation. We believe every animal deserves the best care possible, and that's what we deliver every day. So the next time you need veterinary care, see Dr. Steve Barron at Southern Animal Hospital and Pet Resort.
Hey, good evening, everyone, and I'm Wally with Sports Chat with Neil and Wally. You can watch us on Sunday evenings, but what I really want to tell you about is this TENS unit I got from Jones Medical Supply. You know, local home does make a difference. What's up, Wally? Hey, Neil, what's up, man? What you got? That's my TENS unit. What is that thing right there? When I had Bell's palsy, I had facial problems. What if you turn it like this? 1.21 gigawatts, Neil. Hey, take it from us. Call Jones Medical Supply. You'll get good training, better than mine.
Welcome back to Sports Chat with Neil and Wally. That was great to have Coach Branson on TV and let him talk about his upcoming season. I know we didn't get to talk to him long, but he said he will be joining us back at the beginning of the basketball season.
One thing I did notice, Wally, is he was a lot skinnier than us.
Oh, he was.
He don't have to be on the keto diet.
No, he doesn't. Doug runs a lot. I tell you that. Well, Neil, I'll tell you what's important right now is some of the football games that went on this past Friday night.
Wally, a lot of high school action this Friday night.
Right, it was.
Jamborees left and right. Some people didn't play, and they're looking forward into their opening game this Friday night. But on the 24th, there were some jamborees, and we'll talk about those. Pike Live goes down to Laverne and beats CCA. And also Charles Henderson goes down to Brundage and beats Pike County 10-6. Now, Charles Henderson ran up probably 350 yards of offense, but half of that offense was negated by penalties. So therefore, they only scored one touchdown. And
Neil, they had 336 total yards offense to Pike County 71.
Yeah, the defense, I was very, very impressed with Charles Henderson's defense. Man, I'm telling you, Camden Coing and Cole Coppage and J.B. Sanders.
Man, they were on it, buddy.
And Javontrez Allen and them guys, man, I mean, they just really impressed me getting after the football. Offense got some work to do.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, the bulk of the penalties came from the offense.
Yeah, it did.
Besides the aggressive penalties, you know, the personal foul, took a couple late hits on the quarterback. And I tell you, Coach McCoy can get that read option going with DQ, Tony, and Mr. Carter, a sophomore running back.
And he did extremely well.
Yep.
I mean, he was hitting those holes. The offensive line, which I put on Facebook, I think it was on Thursday, said
they got some experience.
We got some experience, and that totally showed.
Yeah,
that,
Will Reeves,
they did.
Sabian Caffey, Zach Jones. They were really blowing some holes. Sam Knox. And I'm gonna tell you, and Benny Mahan was on the other end, and he was on the other side. And I've seen Benny Mahan play for Charles Henderson the last couple of years. He don't push him around very much, and they did a good job pushing Ben Mahan around, and that was impressive.
Yeah, well, Pike County, his brother Derek, he had a good game too. He called his name out a lot, especially on defense.
And DQ Tony threw a couple of interceptions and coughed up a fumble, and thank goodness it was a jamboree.
Yeah, I mean,
and the coaches, Coach McCoy and his offensive staff, can have a talk with DQ about ball security and not risking those throws when he might could tuck it and run for 6-7 yards, because if he's quick and he's fast.
Yeah, because you got to realize, Neil, Friday night, Charles Henderson is going to be going down Highway 167 to go play 7A Enterprise.
Wildcats.
Which has
looked good against Dothan.
They sure did. They really looked good compared to last year. They had a pretty sad season last year, but they are pumped and ready.
This is going to be a rebound year. You can already tell the way they put it on Dothan. 44-21, I think, was the score. And Carroll, hey, they just reloaded. You know, they beat Booker T. Washington 33-6. Goshen didn't play. They play this weekend, and Laverne beat Geneva 25-6 down in Laverne. I talked to some Laverne folks, and they said Laverne was impressive. And Scott Riles has got them rolling down there. Brantley didn't play. Ayrton lost to Dale County, and Dale County beat them 41-19. And talk about that.
I even talked to Coach Dunn today at flag football practice, but there was like a lot of special team firecrackers. Let me tell you, they had a kickoff return for 6 points. They had a muff punt in the end zone.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, they just had all types of crazy plays.
Yeah.
But the game was pretty much close just till the
special teams
end.
played a role.
But, it's kind of like some of these Jamboree games, Ayrton could have played a nobody. But they didn't. They wanted, to come out first game of the season.
I saw where Dale County was preseason ranked 10 in 4A.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it gives them, Coach Gilchrist gives them a lot of good film now up against a great team than going against a smaller caliber type team.
Right. And speaking of smaller caliber schools, I want to commend the coaching staffs for Pike County and the coaching staffs for Charles Henderson and both athletic departments for continuing to play that Jamboree, because that is a humongous revenue earning gate at that game for both schools. So I commend keep funding both programs.
Exactly, and it's always been a big.
And those kids want to play each other.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Want to play each other.
Exactly.
Enterprise beat Dothan 44-21. Wally, anything else about Ayrton?
Not it. Coach Dunn, told me, he said they're better days ahead. And they got a lot of good commitments down there.
That's one of those where you
community.
That's one of those where you say that it might have been outclassed a little bit.
Yeah, maybe
more players,
and
bigger
stuff.
gene pool to pull from.
And it was just like, and I'll change games here, but the Zion Chapel game, like Friday night, you look at that replay that Studio 52 Productions, that was their game of the week.
They were live
you look
down in Jack, Alabama.
All the people that come to those games is just phenomenal. And, Noah helps coach down there, and he was just telling me, he said, Dad, you don't see, it's just
we saw
they stacked, on top of each other.
I used to officiate games down in Jack, Alabama at Zion Chapel, and it was always packed on Friday night, I guarantee you.
Yeah, and of course, Zion Chapel lost to Houston Academy. Some of their stats, Neil, they
31-0.
There was 31-0, and they Zion Chapel only had 126 yards, total offense. Aaron Sin, he was 9 for 15 and passed for 76 yards. But on defensive stats, Rhett Flowers, he had 8 tackles. Champ Gratham had 8 tackles, and Brockton Brass had 6 tackles.
Cool. Wally, we got a caller. You're on Sports Chat with Neil and Wally. Good afternoon. What's going on today?
Neil and Wally, Bud, Luverne, how y'all tonight?
Hey, Bud.
Hey, Bud. What's up, buddy?
Man. I was hoping you'd be able to find us on Sunday evening instead of Saturday morning.
Yeah, I watched you when you was on Mike's show there one morning, and
Okay.
heard that you were going to be on Sunday night, which I think, like you said, is a pretty good idea considering all the games are played and you'll have a little time to work your stats in and that kind of stuff. I think it's a great move.
And that played a big part in it, Bud.
I know it did. Let me give you a little rundown on
Please.
some football stuff over here in Crenshaw County.
Yeah.
I went and watched the Luverne and Geneva game. Luverne's got some talent. They're athletic. Of course, now Coach Les Sanders is at Geneva. Used to be at Luverne.
Used to be at Laverne. That's right.
That's right.
And we played our first string, you might as well say, first half, and played one series of the second half. And we didn't hardly have any cramps. We played in a lot of 7-on-7s this year, and
They were prepared.
I think that helped quite a bit.
Yeah.
And but we come out with a 25-6 win. They scored first, got up 6-0, and we come back. And defense looked strong. Had a couple of turnovers early. Of course, that's to be expected first game of the season. But they looked real well. And I think we got our hands full coming this Friday night, though. We got Georgiana coming into Glen Daniel Stadium.
Georgiana came back and won their game last week.
I was really, really impressed with Georgiana's win over St. Luke's Friday night.
I was too. Hey, well, if you were at the Laverne High Tiger game, then I know you weren't over at Cougar Stadium for the Pike Lib CCA game, but have you heard any ins and outs about that game and how Pike Live was able to give Coach Wayne Grant, first-year coach, his first loss? Can you enlighten us?
I went and watched them play. They played Calvary Christian. Crenshaw did last Friday. Friday night was a week ago. I went over and watched them play. They come up with a nice 20-19 win over Calvary. They played in a little jamboree down in the old Ashford Academy School. They beat a team out of Dothan, and they beat Lee Scott 6-0.
Ooh, that's why I was thinking they would play Pike Live a little closer.
Well, let me tell you what's going on there. We've gotten so many defections and so many injuries. We played that Calvary Christian game with about 20 kids. We had one to get hurt in that game with a concussion protocol, and he didn't play last Friday night, and he won't be able to play this Friday night because you know how everybody is this day and time with concussions.
Oh, you got
we finished that ball game against Pike Live with 11 ball players.
Oh my gracious!
They got 2 or 3 hurt in that game, and
you know how many's on the field?
Sir?
You know how many players are on the field?
Yeah, 11 on each side.
Yeah. So there was zero on the bench.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But you know, he's Coach. We all know Coach Grant. He does his thing his way. They were in. Hey, the night I saw them play, of course, it was cool. He got a good shower before, but they were well conditioned also. So
all his
I
teams
think they're gonna have right now a little rough road to hoe. But it's it's just gonna take a matter of time to get some of these injured players at Crenshaw back. But going back to Luverne, I was really impressed with the way they played ball. And I just think with our conditioning and our speed, we're going to out-quick and outspeed a bunch of folks. But, as well as I do, Coach Powell over at Georgiana, he gets them out the hall, and they'll be well-conditioned and well-coached also.
Yep. Georgiana's been on a roll the last couple of years for sure.
They have. And let me give you a little update. Brantley did play in a jamboree game at Highland Home.
Okay. Well, the score wasn't publicized.
No, it was a 19-17 victory over Highland Home for Brantley.
Okay.
Highland led at halftime 10-6, and I think Coach Coggins, from what I was told over the weekend, started playing some of his underclassmen, and Brantley scored on the last play of the ball game. Highland kneeled the ball down twice to try to run some clock. Brantley used their timeouts to force a punt. And I think from what I was told, Brantley scored on the last play of the ball game to win it.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. For Jamboree, that turned out pretty exciting, didn't it?
It did. And, of course, now I'm going to say this about Goshen. Goshen's got a tough road to go. Not only do they have area games with Luverne and, with the realignment, we've got Highland Home and Sampson now in our region. And Elba dropped down to 1A, and Goshen kicks off next week against Arrington. I don't think they look too well. From what I can gather, Arrington had a little struggle Friday night, but Goshen's off game. I mean, their non-region games will be Arrington, Georgiana, and Brantley, and you don't get much stronger than that as far as
that's going to be 3 tough ones right there.
Area.
You are right, bud. That'll be 3 tough ones for sure.
Well, listen, I appreciate y'all taking my call every week. I will be calling and trying to give you an update on Crenshaw County football and let you know what's going on. And I just appreciate everything that y'all do as far as high school athletics. I've coached youth ball for years and years, and our youth programs and everything is what it's all about.
It is.
I just appreciate what y'all do, and Mike Amos and that bunch in the mornings during the week do a great job. And I just appreciate everything, and we'll give you a call next Sunday night and let you know what went on here in Crenshaw County.
Thank you so much, bud. Appreciate your call. Don't forget us next week.
We won't do it, buddy. Have a good week.
All right, talk to you later.
I should ask him, does Highland Home play Brantley during the regular season as well? They used to. I know back in the day you and I officiated football. That was always a huge rival, especially because you got, for folks that don't know much about Crenshaw County, you got 3 high schools there, Brantley, Luverne.
They do not play them in the regular season.
So
Broughton, Kinston, Florella, Georgiana, Laverne, Elba, Red Level, McKenzie, Pleasant Home, and Goshen.
Well, I guess that was the reason they played them for the Jamboree.
The reason they jamboreed them. moving right along, let's talk about some upcoming games this Friday night at the high school level. As Bud was mentioning, Goshen hosts Ayrton. That ought to be a slobber knocker.
That's going to be a good one.
And Brantley is at New Brockton. Carroll High School of Ozark is at Russell County. As you mentioned just a minute ago, Charles Henderson is at Enterprise. Enterprise, much better year is on the horizon for them. Dale County is at GW Long. Daleville is at Wicksburg. Elba is at Opp. And you want to talk about a rivalry.
That's going to be.
Them jokers are about 13 miles apart. And the Elba Opp game every year is just a knockdown.
They've been fighting since the late 1800s.
Yeah, and a buddy of mine from Opp said he might call. We'll see if Chad calls or not. But give us a scoop on the inside track on the Elba Opp game that's coming up Friday night. Eufaula is at Beauregard. Laverne hosts Georgiana, as Bud was just telling us. Greenville hosts Carver of Montgomery.
And let me tell you, Greenville had to come back
against Evergreen.
Hillcrest,
Evergreen,
which we always just call it Evergreen. But, Evergreen, Hillcrest, they won the state championship last year.
Yeah.
And I talked to one fella that went that game, and he says, Greenville's awesome.
They're loaded.
He said, Evergreen's awesome.
So both of them are good.
Yeah.
Pike County hosts Alabama Christian. Pike Lib travels to Freeport. Tallahassee hosts Handley. And Zion Chapel is at Red Level. So a lot of good games opening up this next Friday night. Exactly. And Player of the Week is going to receive a Marco's 3-topping large pizza. And Wally, me and you called the Charles Henderson Pike County game, and I watched a little bit of the replays on the other games on Troy Cable. And I'm going to tell you what, anybody would be hard-pressed to have a better game than the defensive player for Charles Henderson, J.B. Sanders.
J.B. was at it, buddy.
Number 8, J.B. Sanders. I'm not sure how many tackles he had, but that joker was all over the field. Fielded a kickoff, and I mean, J.B. Sanders is the player of the week. The Sports Chat with Neil and Wally, player of the week. Charles Henderson's safety, J.B. Sanders, number 8. He was all over the field. You win a Marco's 3-topping pizza. And all you got to do is show up and tell them your name and show them your ID so that they can verify it's you, and you can get that pizza. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back unless...
Well, when we get back, we're going to have Lonnie Layton's Concession Stand Madness, and then I'll tell you about it when we get back from the break.
Hey, stay tuned for that. You're going to like it. We'll be right back.
Dadgummit. Man, what's going on, Wally? What's wrong with that thing? Oh, Neil, Dad, my gum, man. I can't cut grass. I can't have nothing anymore.
Is it broke? I mean,
I don't know.
I chopped it all up over there.
Yeah, pretty brutal. What I should have done was called Blake Turner with Turner Mowing at 334-465-0600, and I wouldn't be in this predicament right here.
This. Best rates in town. Call Blake Turner. He'll give you a low quote. He'll give you the best job.
Hey, Neil.
Yeah.
Hey, man, come here for a second.
Yeah, what is that?
Man, I just crashed my drone, man. Good.
Crashed it up in the tree. Man, you should have got some insurance on that thing.
You think I can get some drone insurance?
Man, you call Mike Crease at the Crease Agency. They got over 20 types of policies: liability, collision, house insurance, home insurance, car insurance, boat insurance, jet ski insurance,
and drone insurance.
You might can get some drone insurance, man. As many times as you stuck that thing in that tree, you better get some insurance on that thing. Call Mike Crease, Wally.
24 types of insurance there too, Neil. Call him 334-566-8777.
Good morning, everybody. This is Neil from Sports Chat with Neil and Wally. It's time for my morning biscuit. I want you to look how big that biscuit is. I'm going to put this butter on that biscuit. Came from the Pig Cafe out on North 3 Notch. Go see Yanni. Get you a real biscuit. Hey, Wally.
Hey.
What you got there?
Where'd you get that biscuit at?
This is Pig Cafe on North 3 Notch. Where'd you get that?
Oh, man, 231, one of those big box chain stores out there, Neil. They even got a paper straw.
Man, look at the size of that little thing. Look at it. I'm about to put butter on this. Is 3 times the size of that.
I should have gone see Yanni.
Go to the Pig Cafe on North 3 Notch or call them for catering, 334-770-0134. Get a real biscuit.
Don't want a wimpy biscuit.
Welcome back to Sports Chat with Neil and Wally here on Sunday night, August 26th. Hope you're enjoying the show tonight. We're moving on into wrapping up the high school football, and something we're going to do every week. Wally's been working real hard on this. I'm excited about it. Wally, tell us about concession stand madness with Lonnie Layton.
Okay, well, Lonnie Layton's a good friend of ours. Like Neil said at the beginning of the program, Lonnie played collegiate football up north. He come down south.
He's a Saluki, Wally.
Yeah, he's a Saluki.
Southern Illinois.
But if you can tell by his picture, he's like Neil and I, and we love to eat. So we got together a couple months ago, and Lonnie says, hey, what if I can just go to different ball games each week and then come back and give a report about how good the concession stands are? So you can keep a documented tally of who's got the best concession stands and who doesn't. So as you can see, where's my hot dog? There's Lonnie on the left of the screen, and he went to Crampton Bowl this past Thursday night. This past Friday night. His son plays at Thompson. So Lonnie's report out of 5, and how he's going to do this each week is they're either going to get a 1 or all the way to a 5 or in between. He gave Crampton Bowl a 4.5, and what he said was probably some of the best concession stand food that he's tasted in a long time. He said also that the lines were long, but there was not a lot of people.
It was worth the wait, though.
It was worth the wait, and he said besides a pre-made hamburger patty, that was the reason they got a deduction. So they got a half-point deduction.
And you posted something about this on our Facebook page earlier.
So every week, Lonnie will post that. And if you're going out of town on the football Friday night, you can always check back with Sports Chat with Neil and Wally and look at Lonnie's concession stand report. Now, I did tell him, hey, since we're on the keto diet and low carb, I want to know if there's any stuff for low carb folks.
That's right.
Because, hey, you can't eat hot dogs and hamburgers and
the
buns and cookies. I want to see if they got, like when we went to Lo Chipoca, a fish sandwich.
That's right.
Hey, we went to Lo Chipoca one time. I kid you not, they had a fried brim fish on a piece of white bread.
That was a delicacy, man.
And there was a line outside the fence to get that.
Sure
so,
was.
Lonnie, we appreciate you doing the concession stand madness. And at the end of the season, Lonnie and we were getting some money up, and they're going to donate to one of the sports boosters who has the best concession stand in the state of Alabama.
And of course, he's not going to be able to go to them all, but his son plays for Thompson and catches passes from Tua Tagovailoa's brother.
He does. Hey, and Lonnie did say this last week. He goes, when his son graduates, he's going all over. He from every corner of the state, man. He said he is getting a lock, stock, and barrel.
I got you. And looking forward to Lonnie's concession stand review every Friday night. That'll be fun, and that should get very interesting. And Lonnie will be calling too. He wasn't able to call tonight, and we'll do that. Wally, college football is in the air.
Oh my goodness!
And
I'm ready.
I want to talk about the Troy Trojans. Coach Neil Brown has yet to name a starting quarterback. It's still between Sawyer Smith and Caleb Barker, and I have heard through the grapevine that tomorrow will be the day.
They're making a big announcement.
They make a big announcement tomorrow on starting quarterback.
All right.
So, also I want to pass this message on. Wear Cardinal to the game next Saturday, 5 o'clock at the Vet, and want everybody to be there. Before we get too far into college, Wally, a special guest,
another legend
just walked in the studio. Coach Bart Snyder of the Goshen Eagles just walked in, and we want to call him up right now.
Come on, Coach.
Come on in, Coach Snyder. Come on, we got the seat waiting on you, bud. Good to see you today, man.
Yes, sir.
What's up, my friend?
Good to see you. Come on. Have a seat. This mic right here is hot, so you're ready to go. Coach Snyder, another year with the Goshen Eagles. How many years in a row you been down there? Counting all your assistant and everything, yeah.
I think this is 30-something.
Woo.
30-something years.
Man, you're still kicking.
Still going.
Got you. And you graduated your son last year.
That's correct.
Graduated, you started running back. Yeah, I heard he's going up to Kentucky, Western Kentucky.
Well, that's the defensive end.
Okay.
The running back Alford is at Faulkner, along with Dakari Seiler and Xavier Rogers.
Okay.
Devin Bell is at Western Kentucky. Got Dawson Hamlin down at West Florida. Got Damian Passmore at Alabama A&M.
A lot of guys moved on to the next level.
They did.
That's
did.
exciting
So we're
for
very
your
proud.
program and for them
that's a
personally.
testament
To
That
your
is.
program.
That is.
right.
You know, those guys really worked hard. Not only on the
And
field.
your son?
He is at Faulkner
Faulkner as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Coach, tell us what you got coming back. I know you didn't play a jamboree last Friday night.
No, we
Getting started with Ayrton this Friday.
That's correct. Wow, what a good one to get started with. I mean,
That ought to be
those
a good one.
guys are huge, and you know, Coach Kilcrease, Stephen Kilcrease, does a great job, and he's got a lot of great help. So they do real good. But we have Caleb Dawson is coming back, and he'll be our linebacker. I had a guy kind of working the things there, and you got his brother Dante will be on the defensive line, and you got
Now, did Shay's son graduate?
yes, he graduated.
He did.
We lost 16 guys last year.
Good
So
gracious.
you know, in a 2A ball program, and
That's a
it's
lot of
not
kids.
like 16 that didn't play. Those
Right.
guys were playing.
Yeah.
Then we got Will Little that'll be on the defensive front for us, and Trey Dix will play some defensive back. And then we got a lot of new faces, and those guys will flip-flop back and forth on the offensive side. On the offensive side, really the only true returning starter that we have on the offensive side will be Trey Barterman on the offensive at center for us, and then Brian Galloway will be responsible for taking the snaps.
Well, what you need is a big crowd there
Yes, we
Friday
do.
night down in the land of Goshen.
And the purple and Vegas gold, not just the
Not the
purple
other,
and
that's
gold. For
Yeah.
anybody wants a sure bet, they can bet on purple and gold Friday night, and one of those two is going to come out.
Are
with
you
the
going to
win.
be able to look at the film from Bell County last week?
Well, you know, I kind of gave him a word that they don't have anything
Okay.
that we can swap with him.
Okay.
You know, he could get our
Gotcha.
spring, and I gave, you know, we did go see them play.
Okay.
And they're good.
Yep.
They're real good. They
Yep.
played a very, very good Dale
We
County.
heard that there was
ball
some
team.
freaky special teams in that game.
Yeah, there was.
What was the muff punt in the end zone?
It's really hard to explain. The guy was on about the 5-yard line, and it looked like the ball was about to bounce out of bounds, and he just reached up and looked like he tapped it back in. And
We heard it was weird.
it was. I don't understand. And then he decided he had to go get it, and Ayrton recovered it there in the end zone. So
Okay.
that was huge.
We heard it was weird.
It
they
definitely
had-
was.
Coach, what about your kicking? I know Hamlin's gone.
You know, and that's a huge loss. You get a gift like that right there. You don't
yeah.
find that. We've been very blessed at Goshen over the last several years to have the Macias boys, Stephen and Daniel, and then have Dawson to come in. But we're still searching right
Searching for
there.
one. Okay.
Yes, I mean, and I know that sounds crazy when you play this coming week, but
To
we've
the,
got
to
3
the
or
point
4
that you
guys.
might be going for 2?
Yeah,
Or,
well, it could end up that
Okay,
way.
okay.
I mean, it's just a tough thing to do right
you can
now.
always get one of them big old linebackers to kick off.
Right, well, but it's just hard to, you know, when you were spoiled, and that
It's a
that
weapon
hurt,
in high school.
That it is, and you know that hurt us against Pike County whenever the end of the first half we'd scored and then kicked off to them with a ball at the half-yard line, and our guys took it that it was in the end zone,
Yeah.
and they returned it.
How about that?
Well, I know there's 2 players in Goshen that wants to play for you.
Who's that?
Connor Jones and Tyler McClendon. Brian McClendon. They go to Goshen. They're big Goshen fans, and I coached them in baseball this year, and they all into Goshen.
I
So
got you.
they
Well, we like that. It's taking
you got 2 good ones coming up.
Well, I'm going to put a little
got
pressure
several.
on you.
Okay.
How many more years you going to go?
I don't. I want to stay for a while, you know. But 30 years is a long time to be in one spot, and it's hard to give up something you love in a place that you love. So I'm gonna keep turning.
Keep going. All right.
I'll keep going.
All right. Well, Coach, best of luck to you this year. Best of luck Friday night against
Thank you.
Ayrton.
It will be
And,
much needed.
thanks, Coach.
You know, thank y'all for what y'all were doing here. You know, Mr. Mike started this stuff a long time ago, and there's other schools that do some things, or counties, television stations do try to pick up on what he done, but what y'all are doing right here is just outstanding for high school athletics.
Just
in our
taking the
area.
torch and just carrying it on across the
Trying
mic.
to keep
That
it
is
going.
right, and that's a great thing because, you know, like I said, you got larger cities that are trying to do this, but they can't run with what's Troy Cable. And
You really do a good job with it. We're
is.
blessed to
Very
have
blessed.
the platform to do this.
That's right. And then Wednesday nights we'll have coaching shows.
Coaching shows,
and,
exactly.
And games that are played repeatedly throughout the week. And
then a live one on Friday night.
that's right. And it's just great to be able to have something like this right here in our community to promote our young people. And I mean, the three of us played. Y'all might have got some of it. I didn't. I was a little bit
They were just getting
We
going.
were getting it. I was actually 89 was the first year.
First year.
they did
Yeah.
it. Sure enough.
But, well, Bart, thank you very
Yes,
much,
sir.
man.
Thank y'all. I
Appreciate
appreciate
it.
it.
We'll
Coach.
take a
Good to see
break.
you.
We'll be right back with you. Thank you, Coach Bart Snyder.
Hey, Neil.
Yeah.
Hey, man, come here for a second.
What is that?
Man, I just crashed my drone, man. Good.
Crashing up in the tree. Man, you should have got some insurance on that thing.
You think I can get some drone
Man,
insurance?
you call Mike Crease at the Crease Agency. They got over 20 types of policies: liability, collision, house insurance, home insurance, car insurance, boat insurance, jet ski insurance.
And drone
You
insurance.
might can get some drone insurance, man. As many times as you stuck that thing in that tree, you better get some insurance on that
I tell
thing.
you
Call
what.
Mike Crease, Wally.
24 types of insurance there, too, Neil. Call him 334-566-8776. I can hear this thing, Neil.
Dang on, Wally. You done figured that thing out, man.
this looks good, bro.
You were in the tree every day. Man, can you believe he ain't got it in the tree this time? Look at that. Whoa. What's going on
Lord,
here?
man.
What's going on?
I
Wait a
didn't
minute.
hit your vehicle, Neil.
Wait a minute. Man, look how scratched up that thing is.
God almighty, who can you call to get this
Call
fixed?
Derek Bell at All Star Collision, 808-8822. Any type of crap like this, or when Wally wrecks his drone, call All Star Collision, Derek Bell, 808-8822.
On 231.
Back to Sports Chat and Wally. Sports Chat with Neil and Wally. Excuse me, it's kind of a tongue twister.
It is a tongue twister.
I want to thank Coach Bart Snyder of the Ghost Eagles stopping by just impromptu and putting him on and answering some tough questions. And best of luck to the Ghost Eagles. We were discussing Troy University's game this coming Saturday at the Vet. 5 o'clock, be there. And where? Cardinal. Wally, something came out this week. And we were saying that tomorrow Coach Brown's going to announce the starting quarterback. He should have a press conference sometime mid-morning. And defensive back Blaise Brown has been added to the Senior Bowl watch list. That's a pretty big accolade. And the one thing, he leads the country in total interceptions as a returning starter in the country. He has the most interceptions of any returning starter, which is something. And talking about the defense overall, looking at their scrimmages, the defense, they should have some national rankings again this year. The defense is just stacked. And looking forward to Boise State visiting the Trojans over at the Vet. Well, are you going?
Yeah, I'm going, man. I'm a tailgate, too.
Yeah.
I'm in a tailgate group right now. Paul Elliott out of Birmingham, him and his wife Tara, they getting this big tailgate stuff going on, so you better believe we'll be there. But I got something to say about the Boise game.
Yeah.
You know, I was doing a little research. They're supposed to have a real good quarterback.
We're a 10-point underdog.
But, you know, hey, and at the end of the show, we got the Lowry's lock. We'll explain that in a little bit. But
the quarterback you're speaking of is Brett Rippon, a 4-star recruit from Spokane, Washington.
And he's supposed to be good, but I'm going to tell you something Coach Brown said last week that really made a lot of sense. It's going to be so hot, Neil. I mean, you talking it's going to be almost 100% humidity next Saturday.
Them boys will be sweating in warm-ups like they hadn't sweated in a long time.
So I think if we can get a lot of people out at the Vet, get a good hostile crowd. But Troy, I mean, personally, I think they're going to win the game straight out. But this is going to be on one of my lock picks.
Yep.
So I'll go ahead and give you that one. Troy.
Plus 10.
Plus 10.5.
I got you.
But
Also, I noticed the signs all around town. Game day, game week at the Vet. And you'll see the signs all over town, which is pretty neat to have those back out again.
Yeah, and
I'm just ready to get it going.
if you're here in southeast Alabama, the atmosphere, I mean, just
Alabama's out of state. Auburn's out of state.
I mean,
Be
why
at
not
the
come
Vet
on?
next Saturday at 5 o'clock.
I mean, we can make a statement, even on the ESPN network, which I think is going to be on the U.
Yep.
I think that's correct. But, golly, have that place just packed. It's kind of like when Missouri came that year. I mean, it was beautiful. I mean, shoulder-to-shoulder fans. And those players do deserve that.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah, go Trojans, and we'll be there, and hopefully the Trojans, I'm not going to call it an upset. I'm just going to say hopefully the Trojans can win the game.
Yeah, I just think they will. It's, again, you can't come into the vet thinking you're going to just walk all over us.
That's right.
You can ask some of the bigger schools that's been here, like Navy and Missouri, Oklahoma State, which they were ranked coming in thinking they were going to be big shots.
That's
yeah,
right.
we sent them packing.
Well, a couple of hours later, Alabama and Louisville at 7 p.m. as one of the kickoff classic games. And I wanted to touch on this. I read this week that Alabama has 6 brand new coaches on staff. And that kind of blew me away. 6 brand new coaches on staff. These people, they're getting acclimated. 6 brand new coaches, and I'll read them off. Jeff Banks, special teams. Dan Enos, associate head coach, quarterbacks coach. Pete Golding, the co-defensive coordinator, inside linebackers. Josh Gaddis, co-defensive coordinator and co-offensive coordinator and wide receivers. Craig Kulagowski, assistant head coach, defensive line, and Carl Scott, the new defensive backs. Now, all these people came from all over the place: Missouri, Kansas, Miami, Central Michigan. I mean, these people came from all over, and these people are this is 6 coaches trying to get acclimated to the way Nick Saban wants to do things. And I wrote that down in my notes because I thought that was interesting. Now, Coach Saban always graduates coaches,
brings them up,
brings 1 or 2 in, as he lets one go to a higher rank somewhere. But 6 new coaches?
6 new coaches, and on top of some bonehead anonymously said that he cheats all the time.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I
don't
did.
know.
Well, I wrote that down in my notes too. If you had the number, this was a tweet, by the way, from an anonymous coach said, if you had the #1 recruiting class in the country every year, you'd win just like Nick Saban. He shows up at every single game with a better roster than the team he's playing. If you count cheating and getting the best players in the country as a part of running a program, he's the best in the country. It's like saying an NFL coach is the best coach in the league if he gets the first 25 picks in the first round every year. Now, some people didn't like that.
I didn't like it.
I don't personally think it's cheating if you find the loopholes that the NCAA forgot to plug. Is that cheating?
No, it's not
cheating. And Saban and his recruiting crew are the best in the nation at finding a little loophole, jumping through it, and grabbing those recruits and doing special things with them. That's not cheating to me. Guess who came back with a tweet in less than 2 hours?
Lane Kiffin.
Kiffin. He says, the best coach in the history of college football ever. How can you say he's overrated and cheats? Coaches just hate on him because he beats them on the field and out-recruits them off the field. That's Lane Kiffin taking up for his old boss. That's pretty neat. I enjoyed that. That was a little Twitter war going on this week with the Bama Nation.
And that's the Lane Kiffin that's probably going to be going to LSU next year.
You think that's where he's going to land?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe so. On the injury front, Alabama lost Terrell Lewis, one of the featured defensive players. He was supposedly one of the top edge rushers, predicted to be one of the top edge rushers in the nation. And he's gone for the year, ACL tear.
Yeah.
So add him to your injury list from our talking last week. And last week we spoke of the quarterback race, and Saban has still not named a starter. And last week I predicted that Hurts would get the start. If Tua is so good,
I think
Tua is going to start, and Tua is going to be the Heisman Trophy winner. If he's that good, why haven't they come out and said he's a starter?
That's just Saban. That's his mentality.
Okay. All right. Louisville's who they're playing, folks.
25.5.
They're trying to hide something from Petrino. They scared of Petrino.
25.5 point underdog.
Hiding the quarterback from Petrino. What a strategy.
Yeah.
Folks, you watch it. I predict Hurts is going to start.
Well, pineapple. Hey, what about Auburn real quick, man?
Holding pineapple.
What about Auburn?
Auburn, J.B. Grimes is back as the offensive line coach for Auburn, and that's big. Auburn has put out, they haven't put out the NFL talent that Alabama has, the NFL talent that LSU has, the NFL talent that Georgia has, but they do put NFL talent in the NFL, and one of the positions that over and over and over again that Auburn puts in the NFL's offensive line when J.B. Grimes was there, and he's back. He was gone for 2 years. He's back. That's big for Auburn to have J.B. Grimes back on campus. He went to Cincinnati and UConn for 2 years, and he's back. And also, I read this over the last couple of weeks. Now, I wanted to talk about it last week, but I didn't. Jatavius Whitlow, while he signed with Auburn as an athlete, and they first started him at wide receiver, and they moved him to a running back because a couple of running backs went pro, and the running back position got thin, and he turned his ankle at the beginning of the year last year and was out the rest of the year and ended up redshirting. And he started turning the coaches' heads in the spring training, and the coaches are, and he in spring training, also the Peach Bowl practice, he was like, whoa, they were like, whoa, this guy's incredible. So watch out for Jatavius Whitlow running the football for Auburn. Jatavius Whitlow may be the name we're all talking about after about week 6. Who's this guy? Where did he come from? So watch out for Whitlow, and with that offensive line with Grimes, watch out. And while they're playing Washington, it's the top number 6 ranked team in the nation, and they got Jordan Miller and Byron Murphy, and they're supposed to be the best corners in the Pac-12 and could be in the country. And Stidham could be tested right out of the gate. I'm just telling you. And Taylor Rapp, the All-American free safety, it could be a heck of a game. What do you think?
Well, Vegas has them at 2.5.
Auburn's favorite.
Touchdown, Auburn.
You think they're going to win by a touchdown?
I just think you mentioned those 2 cornerbacks are supposed to be All-American.
Right.
When you get these Pac-12 teams that come out to the South, just no competition. That's me.
Sometimes it's not.
I know it's played in a dome, so the heat and humidity or whatever won't be a factor. But SEC speed, we've always talked about that for years. You hear it on all the talk shows.
The running back Myles Gaskin and the safety Taylor Rapp are first-team preseason All-Americans.
Yeah, but still, I like Auburn at this game, and I like him in a touchdown.
Website says that Myles Gaskin runs a 4.43 40, and he's the fastest guy on the team. He's a starting running back. Another note about the Washington Huskies, they haven't been able to practice outdoors because of the wildfires. They've had to practice indoors almost the entire fall camp because of smoke and haze from the wildfires. Of course, the first game's indoors at Georgia Dome, so whatever. But
it's gonna be good.
Braves baseball. The Braves.
Braves have a team? Didn't know that.
The Braves got swept by Colorado last weekend.
What did the Cubs do?
I got the Cubs down here. We're going to mention the Cubs. Braves got swept by Colorado last weekend and then turned around after being swept by Colorado and won 5 straight against Pitt and Miami. But Miami got them 2 straight on Friday and Saturday. Wally, Ronald Acuna and Ozzie Albies mixed those 2 youthful, fast, fun-to-watch players with Markakis and Inciarte and Freddie Freeman as senior veteran players, and it's just an exciting mix for the Braves. And they're in first place right now.
Well, what about our buddy David Hennigan? What's his team doing?
Hennigan, just for Hennigan right now, the Yanks are 7 games out. Your Yanks are 7 games out of the AL East. But the good thing about that is the Red Sox, who they're trailing, is the best team in the major leagues. And the Yanks are in second place by a mile. They're 20.5 games ahead of the next third place team, the Devil Rays.
Maybe next year, Hennigan.
Yeah.
Maybe next year.
Your Cubbies are in first place in the NL West by 4 games right now. They're playing real good. They've won 4 straight as well. Their record is 75 up and 53 down.
They can go ahead and buy the championship rings.
They going to beat Boston or they going to beat New York?
That'd beat Boston.
They're going to beat Boston. So Hennigan, your Yanks are out, man. He's putting Red Sox in the World Series. So.
All right. Well, Neil, I know we're about to wind up our show. We got a couple minutes left, but there's something that I was going to bring to the table.
Do it.
This is the fun thing. Hey, go ahead and get your pen and paper out. This is called Lowry's Locks. Now, this is all fun and games.
Locks.
Lowry's Locks. So don't go
hey,
call
you
your
remember, you remember back in the day when we were younger, they had this thing called Leonard's Losers? Well, you can compare that to Lowry's Locks.
No, these are don't listen to Neil. This is actually locks. I'm going to give you 5 games each week.
Lowry's Losers.
Lowry's Locks. Don't listen
Lowry's
to
Losers.
Lowry's Locks.
Whatever you want to do with
LOCKS.
these. Hey, hold on. This is all for fun.
Yes, it all.
We do not condone. We don't condone betting and gambling. It's illegal. This is all for fun.
It's all for fun.
Wally's losers. Go ahead.
Okay, now for Lowry's locks. Take Troy plus 10.5. Take Notre Dame.
I like that one.
Take Notre
Notre
Dame
who?
plus 1 against Michigan. At home, take Notre Dame plus 1.
Man, they got a
Take-
quarterback mobile. Go ahead.
Okay, take
That Ole Miss-
Alabama.
That Ole Miss quarterback is fake.
It's
Go
all
ahead.
right. Alabama minus 25.5. Take Bama. Take Auburn minus 2.5.
25.5 Alabama. They don't even know who the quarterback is.
No, it don't matter. They
All right.
still going to cover. But the big one,
Lowry's losers.
11 o'clock at night when you're down.
You need a halftime line
need
on
a
Hawaii.
That's Neil. Need a halftime line on Hawaii.
Hey, give me the halftime line on the Hawaii game, please.
Take Hawaii plus 16.5. They're playing Navy. Let me tell you.
They just killed Colorado State.
Hawaii's got some high-power offense. Vegas went to sleep. Telling you. Lowry's locks. Those are your 5 good ones.
You don't think Colorado State was just a little shell-shocked from traveling over across the mainland over there?
Oh, that's all right.
Folks, we appreciate you coming tonight. We appreciate you listening. We'll see you next
Next week.
week. Keep it cool.
Keep it cool.